BRAINY presents How to Spot Emotional Immaturity. Emotional immaturity can be defined as the ability to handle your emotions effectively, deal with conflict in healthy ways, and make well-thought-out decisions that lead to positive outcomes. It's a skill that you should develop as an adult. However, there are several signs that can indicate when someone is lacking in this area. That's why it's important to understand what emotional immaturity is, so you can spot it in yourself and others too. Here are some signs you may want to look out for. Number 1. Lack of emotional awareness and connection. An emotionally immature person has difficulty connecting with their emotions. They may not be able to understand what their feelings mean or how to manage them effectively. They may also have a hard time expressing themselves verbally. An emotionally immature person can appear moody, irritable, or angry without reason. They might not know why they are reacting this way, and therefore can't explain it. Their inability to connect with their own feelings also prevents them from recognizing other people's emotions, and this makes it difficult for them to display empathy in general. Number 2. Inability to deal with conflict. Emotionally immature people are often incapable of dealing with conflict. They don't have the skills needed to manage stress in difficult situations. They may also struggle with self-reflection and the ability to analyze things objectively. When things get hard for an emotionally immature person, they likely either shut down completely or lash out at others in an attempt to avoid having any sort of vulnerability. Number 3. Getting offended or hurt easily. People who are emotionally immature can be offended by anything, from a harsh word to a perceived slight or criticism, and they react with anger, insecurity, or defensiveness. They may even think that others are trying to hurt them, even if the intent wasn't malicious. This is because the person makes everything about them and their feelings. They cannot separate their emotions from what's happening around them. Number 4. Commitment issues. This is a classic sign of emotional immaturity. Commitment is scary because it means letting go of control, and it's much easier to keep things at arm's length than it is to deal with the uncertainty and vulnerability that comes with committing wholeheartedly. An emotionally immature person usually has a hard time committing to things, and that includes people. They may be fine with being in a relationship or even a marriage, but they expect their partner to do all the work. It's as if they want the other person to handle everything, so they don't have to put in any effort. Number 5. Ego-driven. Emotionally immature people tend to lead with their egos rather than their hearts. They are motivated by their own self-interest and personal gain, and have a hard time seeing past themselves. Those who exhibit emotional immaturity tend to seek external validation for their self-esteem, and they often have a need to be the center of attention. Usually, this manifests as needing constant praise and reassurance from others, but it can also mean that they get jealous or envious when others succeed. Number 6. Impulsive behavior. Another way to spot emotional immaturity is through impulsive behavior. Impulsivity is a way of thinking and acting, characterized by a lack of forethought and consideration of the consequences of one's actions. So instead of considering the pros and cons before making a decision, the person will act without thinking about what might happen afterward. This can lead to socially inappropriate behavior and make it difficult to develop and maintain healthy, long-term relationships. Number 7. Refusal to accept responsibility. Emotionally immature people tend to blame others for their problems and misfortune. By doing this, they manage to avoid taking responsibility for the consequences of their own actions. If something goes wrong, it's never because of anything they did or didn't do. They're always victims of someone else or some unfortunate circumstance. This is why they have trouble apologizing. They don't believe they could do anything wrong. In addition to refusing to accept responsibility for their mistakes, they tend to be complainers who feel sorry for themselves. This kind of self-pitying attitude makes it more difficult for them to get along with other people, because no one wants to be around someone who's constantly complaining about how terrible everyone and everything is. Number 8. Selfishness. In the same way that children are generally focused on their own needs primarily, so are emotionally immature adults. They tend to be selfish, with their own needs and wants taking priority over everyone else's. Emotionally immature people don't recognize that there is give and take in relationships. Instead, they think that love should be based on what someone does for them. Not only do they expect others to do things for them, but they also feel entitled to have things done for them, without any effort on their part. Number 9. Holding grudges. Emotionally immature people are not able to forgive and move on from their grievances. They find it difficult to let things go, even if it's obvious that they don't matter anymore. They sulk when something bad happens and hold on to bad feelings about past events as a way of justifying their anger toward others. An emotionally immature person has trouble understanding that there is no need for revenge because it only makes things worse for everyone involved and creates more problems than it solves. Number 10. Tendency to bully and spread rumors. Sometimes the only way an emotionally immature person can deal with someone who is challenging their opinion or blocking them from getting what they want is to turn the situation around and make it about the other person. Thus, they may resort to bullying, name-calling, and spreading rumors. Emotional immaturity is a serious issue that affects many people. In fact, it's one of the most common reasons for people to feel frustrated in their relationships. It can be hard to spot, but the more you know about it and how it presents itself, the better equipped you'll be when dealing with a person like this. Also, if you want to improve as an individual, learning to be more emotionally mature will help you become more effective at handling stressful situations. It will also help improve your relationships in general. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends so we can keep making them. For more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and remember to click on the notification bell. Also, be sure to check out our other videos as well. Thanks for watching.